everybody. I'm Bryan.
And I'm Bryan.
And this is Bryan versus Bryan episode. I probably should have figured that out before I did this. Episode 130?
130.
130. Episode 130. Event Horizon. Or Dead Space, the prequel. Or Please Pluck Out My Eyes too. Any one of those titles could work. I'd never seen this. You know, I'm aware of it and seen stuff from it, but I'd never sat down and watched it. Came out August 15th, 1997. Paramount Pictures, baby. Lawrence Fishburne, Sam Neill. This is 1997. This is pretty close to that Jurassic Park fame.
Yeah, and Fishburne 2 years later was Matrix. So
yeah,
right before the Matrix.
Troubled production, rushed by Paramount when it became clear that Titanic would not meet its projected release. Oh, I wonder why. The original 130-minute cut of the film was heavily edited by the studio's demand to Anderson's consternation. So we got Wes Anderson. Is that his name? Wes?
Paul Anderson.
Paul Anderson. Paul W.S. Anderson of Mortal Kombat fame.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he was thrown a bunch of scripts after the success of that. One of them being, what was it? X-Men in 2000 coming up. And the other one, it was another.
I'm glad he didn't touch that.
I don't know. I mean, if in Mortal Kombat, maybe it could have been pulled off.
I guess that's true.
Oh, and a Mortal Kombat Annihilation. So he's offered the sequel to Mortal Kombat and then X-Men. Maybe he could have made the sequel to Mortal Kombat more in line with number one instead of wacky as fuck. One thing Mortal Kombat 2 did do well was killing Johnny Cage in the first minute.
Yeah.
Blows your mind. That's that's a Last of Us Part 2 situation. It's what?
Because he was the fan favorite from the first movie. It's it sucks they didn't get the same. I mean, obviously, if I was that actor, what the fuck? Obviously, he wouldn't take that role because he's in it for a couple minutes, but it's a different actor.
It wasn't even the same actor. Yeah. He's like, I'm not fucking coming back for that. You kidding me? A lot of them weren't the same actors. I think Liu Kang was the only one who was
I think Liu Kang was the. Oh, and what's it? Is it Selena? Selena was the same. A girl with the long ponytail and leather.
Yeah. Not Selena.
Not Selena.
What the hell? Well, anyways, I can't remember. Melina, whatever. Back to this movie. No, it's Katana.
That's right.
Katana. Right. So he chose this because he was really interested in doing a rated R horror movie. $60 million budget, only made 42, so big flop.
Yeah.
But later totally redeemed itself on DVD and releases.
DVD sales, yeah.
So much so that Paramount tried to come back to Anderson and ask him to restore his original cut with the deleted footage, but they couldn't find the masters. They were all destroyed or ruined.
God damn it.
Which is whack. So I guess the original script was more just a normal alien movie with tendril type aliens in the ship. Some tentacle porn shit.
Nice.
And he didn't like that. He said it felt too much like Alien. So he did a massive rewrite and made this script more of his concept of a haunted house movie on a ship.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I like the idea of hell. Oh, you like the idea of hell, huh? All right. Cool. Put it in there. Anyways, this movie starts with a very long credits at the beginning.
Some techno. Yeah.
This is after Star Wars. We don't have to do this anymore. And you're reading all this shit, and it's just giving you massive amounts of story in text. I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm trying to eat. You know what I mean? I can't even eat right now. I gotta wait. There's too much text.
Yeah.
I'm reading all this story in the year 2047. space travel is prevalent. Da 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 da. And in the year 2032, it says something like the Event Horizon, which is the largest spacefaring disaster of all time. Ship disappeared, all crew presumed dead, becoming the biggest space tragedy. And then it says something like 2047 now. ... We pull in on a this movie is strange. It's right in the middle of practical and CG effects.
Yeah.
The practical ones look pretty good. CG ones look like ass.
Yeah, CG's awful.
This shot, they're pulling in on the ship and it's kind of ass, but pulling in on the window and the window becomes like some CG, or not CG, but I don't know what they call that, but they're painting in a different image and pulling in on the window. It's like, oh, I see, there's a guy in there. It doesn't look like footage projected onto a fucking model at all. But the models look pretty good. I like the practical stuff.
Yeah.
I thought it looked pretty cool. But man, they use a lot of CG too. Like for zero gravity, they got some floating tools and shit. It's like they feel like they're trying to use chromes and things a lot.
Yeah, I actually think the very, very first shot of the movie, the first thing you see is an asteroid that flies past camera, and it looks so bad. You're like, oh god. It's like, oh, that's rough. I forgot about the fucking CG. They got to show that CG right out of the gate.
And there was some oil, like for no fucking reason. It didn't have to be there. And the ship was like, "What's all this stuff?"
Oh yeah, the coolant. Must have been a coolant leak.
There's a coolant leak. It's everywhere. And then you get run into it. Oh shit! Look at the physics. And it's like shiny and shit. Oh god. But yeah, it's you first pull onto this ship. I like the design of the ship. I like how it's in line with the Star Wars, like a worn-in space. It kind of reminds me of a Matrix ship.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very fucked up and lived in, and it's got this weird ass fucking Professor X captain's chair. I don't know.
That chair's too fucking thin. It's bothered me since I was young. Like this chair, like you want like something that's like huge that they kind of sit in, but he's just like,
yeah, he's in this weird spinning chair for no reason, and it's like on a gyro, so it's like it's swaying and shit. It like moves, and it kind of makes sense as the ship's like doing crazy turns, and he's like still upright.
Yeah,
ship's moving around him, but that's not how it worked in the movie. Like. He's rocking around while everyone else is sitting still. Like everyone's sitting there and he's like, take us to Power 5.
Yeah.
I just thought that was ridiculous. Just someone had to have that concept of that chair in there. Like they thought that was so good, dude.
They had to use it,
Dude, it hangs down. It's like an upside down question mark, dude. Anderson was like, fuck yeah, man. I bet Lawrence Fishburne was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what is this?
Like, guys, this is this is distracting.
So good.
And so the ship looks pretty cool. So they're on a mission because Sam Neill's character, don't remember their names, they weren't important to me.
Dr. Weir.
He's the scientist. What do you know? He's the expert. Hey, call in the expert. Would have never guessed. But he created that ship that got lost or destroyed, but apparently that was a lie created by the space government to hide the fact that they just lost it and had no idea where it went. But then it returned. Was it 7 years later?
Yeah, 7.
And 7 years later, and had some distress signal that he shares with the crew. And the crew is sent to, what was their mission? To retrieve any survivors and to retrieve the Event Horizon, right?
Yeah, they're a search and a rescue team. They're not military. They're not like, they're just a ragtag group of search and rescue. So they have like, a rescue technician, medical, they have psychological, they have engineer, they have a captain. So they have like all these different things that they actually don't really explore in the movie. But yeah, their whole thing is search and rescue for the Event Horizon.
It made no sense. This crew is like 5 people. It's like,
Yeah.
well, we're a big crew. We got the medical guy. How you doing? We got the other guy. He's a psychological warfare. How you doing? What did the girl do? I don't remember what she
was the XO. She's the second in command.
Oh yeah. In case I die, she's here. How you doing? And then we got the gruff engineer. I don't fucking like you, eh?
Yeah.
I don't fucking think I will throughout
the
the
pilot
film.
guy. Yeah, like the Scottish
Yeah.
the pilot guy. Yeah.
I smoke and I don't fucking like the science guy on here. Okay, something rubs me wrong about the whole thing. And so it's like 5 people. Like a search and rescue mission. And then the crew is like 200 or 2,000 on the Event Horizon. Something nuts. It's like a cruise ship. How the fuck are you going to rescue? Even, how are you going to bring the ship back home? Because they're supposed to rescue the ship too. They want the ship back. You're not gonna tow the fucking ship with your ship. You gotta send a whole second crew on board to pilot that ship, and you don't have enough people to pilot your first ship. This is just weird. This is the shittiest ragtag crew, and we decide to bring one expert. Why do you need him?
And the funny thing is, they don't even know why they're doing it until 70 days, because they go to sleep or whatever, and they wake up and they have a meeting in their little kitchen area. And nobody knows what they're doing or why they're going where they're going, except for Weir. So this is the whole exposition dump of why they're there. So it's like the mission's top secret. So
it's a very Aliens type reveal.
Yeah.
Wait a minute! I thought we were here to just look around. No, we're here to capture, motherfucker. Yeah, and they go into stasis. Oh, it's gonna be a long journey. And then the stasis pods are kind of cool. They're kind of like water that freezes, I guess. Very much like reminded me of Demolition Man type of cryogenics.
I thought every time they wake up, or at least the way they portray it, every time someone wakes up, they just fall out. Like they couldn't make the thing release. They like flop down on the floor.
And there's like fucking about
water. Yeah,
about 700 gallons of water poured up on the deck. Fucking janitors out there like, fuck. Guys, flush first. Jesus, tits. I got 10,000 gallons of water I gotta clean. You just should have showed the outside shot of the ship. It's always just like injecting water into the fucking galaxy.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I thought that was ridiculous. Oh shit!
It's like fuck. I'm awake now.
It's hard. I'm surprised the ground wasn't hard steel spikes. Make it easier. Oh, the ground's heated. To get rid of the water, steam it off. But yeah. Then he has our first inclination of some kind of weird thing going on. Is him in his stasis sleep dreams about his wife.
Yeah.
Come to find out, it's his wife, and she's very creepy, very spooky. She has no eyeballs, which I couldn't tell for a while because I was trying to figure out what the effect was that they're going for with this CG. I was like, because when she closes her eyes, you can see the bulge from her eyeball in her eyelids. And then when she opens them, it's kind of like a pinkish.
Yeah.
I was like, is it supposed to be like her eyes are fucked up or they're scooped out? I can't quite tell.
Yeah.
I think scooped is what they're going for. Some blood tears and shit. Come to find out, I guess she committed suicide because he was never home. I was working on the Event Horizon, and I don't know where the eye thing comes from.
Yeah, I don't know either. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I think she slit her wrists in a tub, but I was just like, did she gouge her eyes out too? It's like, that's a terrible suicide, dude. You gotta have 2 grapefruit spoons.
Yep.
And simultaneously, because you're not going to do them separately, because then you know how much it hurts. And you're not going to go through with the second one. You gotta both at the same exact time. Because the guy on the ship video had his eyes scooped out.
Oh yeah, when he's holding.
Yeah, so it's like, does that? I don't know what this means. Is this is this some kind of? But she has nothing to do with the fucking ship. I don't know. A lot of this makes no fucking sense to me. This is a great concept and maybe a great script at some point before all the revisions, but none of it pays off in the fucking movie. This is the coolest concept of the shittiest movie I've ever seen. If you tell me about this movie, I know the synopsis. I'm like, yeah, that sounds dope. Watch it. This is nothing like the synopsis. It is.
Yeah.
But the way they do everything, like, all the kills are like nothing to do with the fucking like demon or anything. It's just kind of, it's your inner demons. It's your inner demons you have to worry about in this spaceship, okay, buddy?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God. I was waiting for something good to happen. I was like, show me these fucking demons, dog. Where the fuck is hell at? Never happens. I was like, when are they going to fucking bring back the people that were on the ship and have them start eating people? Never.
Yeah.
When is Lawrence Fishburne going to have a final altercation? Never. Here's questions I wasn't asking that got answered. When is Sam Neill going to be somewhat possessed and have his eyes gouged out? Now.
Yeah.
When is Sam Neill all of a sudden the main character, the evil guy? Now.
Yeah.
The ship is possessed? What? No, you don't understand. Now the ship is possessed, and it has
energy or whatever.
Yeah, it has a taste
our fears
for blood. It wants every human being it can get. Then why the fuck is it only sitting here attracting 5 fucking people?
Yeah,
5 fucking people. It's like you can move to where the people are. That's like you say. You know, I used to have those commercials here. Oh, starving children and 8 cents a day could feed them. You know what? Move to where the food is. You live in the desert. I don't feel that bad, you know? Damn. It's like you live out in the middle at the end of space and you're trying to get humans for God. I don't understand it. Like you're a benevolent space demon force residing in the core. I don't know if it brings you pleasure to do this to people, or you need them for some kind of I don't know, crazy fucking rejuvenation food function. I don't know, but it was just fucking wacky to me. I'm like, dude, these are the it's like, what the fuck is going on? The coolest concept and you're blowing it, bro. Yeah. This is like Doom. I was like, I was like calling it at the beginning with Jesse. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like Doom. It'd be fucking ripple to hell. This is right on. Then none of it ever happened. I'm like, oh. They just tease you and never fucking bring you down that road at all.
Yeah.
And like the first guy, he's exploring the ship. It's like your crew is so ragtag and shit that everything is done alone. I'll take this one because there's only 5 of us, so I can't do much. Everything we do is alone and unprotected. So he's walking down that corridor that connects their ship to the event horizon, and it's 0 gravity in there, and they have to get dude, just make it gravity so we don't have to have all this CG floating around, man. It's like
awful.
They're walking through and there's just like, ooh, a little ratchet wrench,
a water bottle with fucking
with some water in it that looks terrible. Everything's liquid out here. More fucking liquid shit. And he gets like he gets up to the engine, the core, which is in this ridiculous room. It's almost like it's like from X-Men. What the fuck is that room? The fucking Cerebrus.
Oh, yeah.
Cerebrus. Yeah, it's like the room. It's like it didn't seem like there needed to be a whole fucking room like that for it. Probably just sit there in a smaller room, you know. And then and it has the ridiculous like meat grinder they talk about.
The hallway thing,
spinning thing going to do it look like a fucking circus act with lights coming through it and holes in it. Welcome to the circus of value. It's like, what?
That reminds me of as a side note here, I was in Texas for my brother's Air Force graduation, and while we were kind of like seeing the sights or whatever. We went to this haunted house thing. Anyways, one of the attractions towards the end was a fucking just like the hallway, like in that movie, like the rails, but there's like spinning things around, and it fucks with your like your equilibrium, I guess, and it's hard to walk because like I don't know how to even describe it, but this is a weird optical illusion where that's what it reminded me of because it was kind of similar to that, where it's like I can't walk. This is fucking weird. I don't like this.
Yeah, it's like the scariest shit this thing has to offer.
Yeah.
It's like getting you dizzy. How you like that? Starting to fuck with hell, huh? I'll teach you. Maybe you'll think twice before bending space time, bitch. The only thing this movie was missing was like BD Wong explaining the folding of space time, right?
Yeah.
That would have made it the ultimate like flashback to him and his science buddy on Earth, BD Wong with a paper. Oh yes. So he gets in there and it's a really stupid high concept looking engine, and it's practical, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty fucking sure it is.
Yeah.
So he had to build this giant fucking practical spinning centrifuge with fucking rings.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. They got spikes and shit for some reason and lights. It's like, what? Well, this engine folds space-time. How does it do that? With spins and lights? Yeah, we found out you put enough LED lights, you spin them just right. Fucking Event Horizon. We make a black hole, bitch. it's like I don't get it. So there's a weird fucking looks like something you'd have on your office desk.
Yeah.
It's
These rings spinning around a ball, as it's moving.
Yeah. And then he comes in there, then it kind of all the rings line up. And the fucking sphere kind of I think that's CG. We get a CG weird opening of it, and then it's like a liquid. It's like the fucking Stargate or something, or Liquid Terminator as a pool.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of, and he goes up there. Oh, stupid fuck! Has to touch it. Whoa, 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 whoa! Sticks his. He's like coming. So, stick his fingers in it. Yeah. And then, sticks his hand in. He's like, oh shit, oh! Gets pulled in. Welcome to hell, bitch. And then, like some electric force shoots out through the corridor into the other ship, fucking it up. I don't remember if he gets shot out right then. I think so.
Oh no, because Cooper has to come and save him. He because he's on I forget their ship's name, but anyway, he's on their ship, and they're like, "You need to go get him," and then he pulls on the cord to get to I think Justin was his name, out of the core. So
that was the most. Yeah, that's some. You could just yank him out. It's like, what the fuck? Come on, stupid shit. Yeah. Tug him out, hurry. That was probably the most suspenseful and cool part of the movie was like when he got sucked in, and then he's like, he's in trouble. The fucking cord just ripping out of the fucking cord holder. Mm-hmm. Oh shit! We don't got much more cord.
Yeah.
And then it's funny when the blast goes back into the other ship, because from what I recall, this is like connecting their two airlocks, right? This thing, so we could walk across to the other ship. But then when the blast comes through, he's sitting in the fucking what do they call that place where you fly it? The fucking cockpit. Yeah. And then all of a sudden there's like a there's like a blast in there.
Yeah.
Like seemingly coming from the front. It's like Power Rangers. Sparks come out of every time the command center would get destroyed, sparks fly out of every console and like
so many sparks in this movie. Yeah.
Backwards flip. And then oh god. So the ship's kind of fucked. I think then they come up with some wacky thing. Well, we have to fly the Event Horizon back. It's the only way.
Oh yeah, towards the end.
Yeah. So Yeah, there's some ridiculous thing with the Event Horizon. Like it's two ships connected by little like rods in the middle
Yeah.
or passageways you can walk through. But oh, there's a special, and then they see a giant bomb on the ground. It's like, what is this? Oh, that's the bombs. So, you could disconnect the ship and have the front part be a lifeboat. Oh, okay. Just like exposed ass giant bombs on the ship.
Yeah.
So they're gonna take back one of the parts, I guess, or try to. Then everyone starts to see shit, and I think I don't get Sam Neill. Like everyone's kind of confiding in each other. Oh, I saw something too. I don't even remember what they see. It's stupid shit. Fucking inner demons. It's supposed to be spooky. I've read some reviews after I watched it. This movie was terrifying. It's like, what the fuck? What did you watch? Terrifying? It's like, oh my god, his eyes were scooped out. I was so terrifying. The best kind of scary parts was like the message where they.
Oh
like
yeah, 100%. Even just the audio of it before they even get to the ship, because they're listening to the audio of it. Even that's like that
blood curdling,
creepy,
screaming.
Yeah,
and then like the fucking someone speaking Latin. That's never fucking good, dude.
Yeah.
Deferidus matumas. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, he's saying, save us, save us. It's like, is he? And then, they get the video, and it's like people walking around, fucking with their flesh off, people doing backwards crab walk.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? The guy coming up to camera, his own eyeballs in his hands and cut up. Look what you made me do.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
Yeah, there's a lot of like subtle humor in the movie. There's a couple times where they so when that video recording finally gets revealed, because they spend most of the movie trying to like unscramble the footage, because when they get there everything's scrambled or whatever, because of course it is. But when the video happens, it happens pretty late in the movie, and I think they're getting ready to like leave the Event Horizon, because they spend most of the movie trying to fix the ship because they only have so many hours of oxygen on the Event Horizon. Anyway, so the video pops up, and then it shows everyone around the desk watching it, and then Lawrence Fishburne just quietly turns it off and goes, "We're fucking leaving," or he says something to that effect. I don't know, just some funny like comedic, stone dry comedic moments like that. Yep, getting the fuck out of here.
Neil's like, "Please don't do this. We have to. It's done, Doctor."
Yeah.
I'm taking my 4 crew members and we're leaving.
I'm taking my engineer. I'm taking my safety person. I'm taking my.
No. And then, as they're kind of explaining the things they've been seeing. Oh my God, Lawrence Fishburne's one is pretty funny too. It's like, I once saw a man burn to death.
Oh,
I left him to die. And then he sees the guy, and it's always like this CG bit of fire on his face. Like,
it's pretty awful.
Why'd you leave me? And Sam Neill's like very dismissive of it. And you don't know where he's coming from at this point in the movie. He's like, what the fuck, dude? It's like, you've been seeing shit too. But then I start to think, well, he saw his while in sleeping stasis. So it's not really something to do with the ship, I don't think. Because he wasn't even on the ship when it started happening to him. So that was strange to me. But I've heard in some concept stuff that the ship has made him come. They called out to it. I was like, what? Come on, man.
Yeah, it's a little much.
So I didn't quite get why he would be trying to refute all the right. No, you guys are, you're just under a lot of stress, okay?
Yeah.
I was like, aren't you? I don't know. It felt weird to me. So I don't remember anybody's injuries or if they died. I don't know who died. Because it was just it was just fucking stupid. It was, if you would have killed someone with a demon, I'd remember it, right?
Yeah.
But I do remember one that girl keeps seeing her son.
Oh yeah.
From like Earth, right? And I think he's alive on Earth. So what are you doing? I think he's here on the ship. I think it's probably a hallucination like we've all been talking about. No, it seems so real. Like you see him go up a ladder. Oh, hey, come back, Tommy. Go up there, walking across a thing, and then he's like out here in front of her, and then she's like walking to him, and then it's like a cartoon moment. She steps over a cliff,
Yeah.
and she's like, it's suspended in thin air. Looks at, and he's like, and then the hits the ground. And then I like how the kid, like in midair, turns and walks down the hallway.
Yeah, that to me is easily the worst, death of the movie. Because like she sees her son a couple times. She even says to the crew, like, "Hey, I've seen my son." Like, there's one moment where she he's in the medical bay and she rips the cloth out and his legs are all fucked up. But yeah, the fact that she would chase her son for like a couple minutes to capture him and then eventually die, I'm like. There had to have been because Justin didn't die, but even Justin's little thing was kind of fun where he goes to the airlock and he wakes up while he's there. And then I think the doctor gets killed by Weir, so it's like, all right, well, that one's fine. But yeah, the one with the woman, I agree with you. It makes no fucking sense why she'd be chasing after him.
But I think that's it, right? The doctor gets killed, she falls.
Oh yeah, and Smitty, the captain, gets blown up.
Yeah, that's kind of his own thing.
His own thing, yeah.
I'm gonna sacrifice myself, so that's about like 3 casualties.
Yeah,
like not much. And then, I can't remember did the airlock guy die? Because they grab him.
At the very end when the rescue team comes, they say his name. So it's Cooper. I forget the fucking Exo's name, Stark, I think, and then Justin. So all 3 of them survive.
Yeah, and it's funny when he's about to get out of the airlock. He's like, "I'm coming. Expel all the air from your chest. Curl into a ball." It's like, this is how you survive space. Like, dude, you fucking survive in space?
Yeah.
I'm all right. I'm fine. Oh my god. So, yeah. So apparently, the event horizon went through a hell dimension when they spent space time, right? I don't know where the crew is. Apparently they're stuck there, but I don't know why the ship isn't. But I guess there's a lot of footage that the studio had cut of the ghost dimension with the former crew, and I guess that was pretty disturbing shit. More just minutes of that. Yeah. Screaming and fucking people's skin being ripped off. I think there was a concept or a line said in the movie. I can't remember exactly how it went, but the gist of it was, you think you know the concept of hell. You don't know. And it's like, it's worse. Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember how Weir gets to be Scary Man.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense either, because there's a showdown in the bridge and the event horizon, and then somehow the window he shoots at the window because Cooper's out there. It doesn't really matter. But Weir gets sucked out of the fucking window and is gone. And then after that, the crew decides to use the lifeboat and blow all the things up. And then I don't know how it happens, but Lawrence Fishburne finds himself in the fucking orb room. Engine room, and Weir just shows up. He's naked. He has cuts all over him, and he's like, "The ship wouldn't let me leave." And I'm like, "Is this a figment of his imagination that he's seeing, or is he actually physically there?" I have no fucking idea, but it makes no sense.
Yeah, and
because he got sucked out of the window into space. But he's cut naked. He's got cuts all over him.
I think he still has his eyes at that point.
And
so they're fighting. It's some bullshit. I don't remember how he has a fucking bomb, but anyways, Lawrence Fishburne sets off a bomb to kill the guy, destroy the engine, which is supposedly the whole, that's what's causing all this. It's possessing a fucking engine. Very strange. Great concept. I don't think it made a very good movie. And then yeah, pretty much it gets blown up, and then I think they go back into stasis. They get rescued, woke up out of stasis, of course, and the main XO girl is our kind of connection on that, and it's just oh, Jesus.
God.
Another one of those.
I
There's
love
many
it.
of those in the movie. And then oh, thank you, the rescuer, thank God. And then it's this should have been the ending. I hate that it wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
The visor flips up and it's Sam Neill cut up without eyes. You're back.
You're
And
safe.
and then it comes to find out that was a lucid dream, because then we have another oh. So I think that's such a 90s ending too. That should have been the ending. Probably the studio pushed back. I bet he wanted that to be the ending. They're like, no. But anyways, that's the ending. Flip up, you see Sam Neill, and then you start play that techno song again.
Yeah.
and the credits, dude. That's such like a fucking Blade era fucking movie ending.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been amazing. I would have got it some points.
Oh my God.
Welcome to hell.
I always thought the ending was kind of ambiguous in the sense, because even when she actually wakes up and it's reality, there is a crew there, a rescue crew there. And the guy's like, hey, I need something. I don't know what he fucking screams for. But the camera kind of floats backwards. And as he's saying something, the doors kind of like close. And it's, I don't know, the score kind of comes in. It's a little ominous. So I'm like, are you insinuating that the ship is still alive and now it's going to feed off of, these people? It was always kind of unclear. It's like the fucking spinning thing at the end of Inception. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? But yeah, so I have no idea whether the ship's still alive or not, or if they're safe with that door closing thing. But
yeah.
The weird thing should have ended on that. Would have been fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know why this movie has such a cult following. I didn't think it was that great. It's almost comical how not great it is. It's oh my God, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like trying to be the coolest concept horror sci-fi movie. But then like it's one person had to tell the idea to like 10 other people through telephone. And then by the end, this is what it is versus the script. I assume that script was a good read. I was like, oh, this is fucking interesting. Oh, fuck yeah. And then the movie, I don't know, man. I didn't enjoy it too much. I found myself just being amused by it. I was like, this is ridiculous. So, yeah, I don't understand it. Maybe a cult following at the time, like after theaters, like when the CG and stuff was still decent. But man, I couldn't imagine. I don't understand. So someone's watching this for the first time like me, and they're like, "Oh, you seen that Event Horizon? That shit's bomb." Mm-hmm. I always thought this movie was good. I seen the pictures. I heard the concept. I was like, "Yeah, I don't even need to watch it. I know it's good." Boom.
Yeah.
There's one less movie I gotta watch. I don't need to know. I already know it's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was not expecting this. This is very different than what I thought. Even at the beginning of the movie, I was like, yeah, this is fucking about to turn into Doom. This is going to get dope. There's going to be some fucking Latin-speaking demons on the fucking ship. Some crazy shit. Probably a floating eyeball like Doom. Something cool, man. Nope. None of it.
No, yeah.
None of it came to fruition. So I personally, first time watching it, no connection to it other than knowing it, like the concept of it. That's about it. 6.3.
Man, I mean it's a little bit of a bummer. That you didn't enjoy as much as the people who love it. But I understand why. I don't disagree with anything you said today. But yeah, I saw this movie opening weekend in '97. I was 11, and this movie fucking scared the living shit out of me. That reviewer was right, but I mean, I was 11, so I don't know what his excuse was. um, yeah, I've seen this movie so many times. I probably didn't even need to watch it, and I could still recall every fucking scene of this movie. A, it's not very long, and B, not. I mean, it's not. Everything's kind of. It's not that hard to remember. Especially if you've seen it a couple times. But yeah, so it's hard for me because I do have that connection a little bit of like this movie scaring the fuck out of me. But yeah, watching it today, yeah, it doesn't hold up as much as it did back then. It sucks too because I was looking at I think it's called the trivia on IMDb, and they were talking about all the stuff you kind of talked about, which is that there's a 130-minute cut, it got cut down. But there's a section on IMDb if anyone's interested in the trivia section, but it actually breaks down all the deleted scenes. And like my biggest issue with this film is you don't get to know anybody. Like you don't get to know who anybody is, you get a little bit of their personality, but not really. And so when they start dying, you don't really give a fuck. And that's what's so cool about Alien and Aliens, why they're so iconic. I mean, they're iconic for many different reasons, but one of them is they're all slow burns, and you get to know who Ripley is, who Dallas is, who the Marines are, and their personalities and their camaraderie. You get all of that like an hour into those movies before shit starts to happen, and then when it does, it's you're involved more. You want them to survive, yada yada yada. This movie doesn't do any of that. And when I was looking at the deleted scenes, like there was like, oh yeah, a conversation between DJ and this person about their situations and their fears, and the conversation here, like the beginning was a much longer, and I guess there was a whole scene where Sam Neill's character is talking to the company that's sending him out and like briefing him and all this stuff. And I'm like, that's what this movie needs. It needs a little bit more of a slow burn to get us to the event horizon. And in terms of the event horizon, yeah, I like the fucking mood and the atmosphere of this movie. It's very ominous, creepy, and dark. But yeah, it doesn't really amount to anything that's like worth it. There's some cool moments. I do like the scene where the gateway opens when Justin's alone, because in that whole sequence, like everyone's kind of going to their own rooms, and you don't expect anything to really happen other than like a cheap jump scare. So when those rings connect and that thing opens, you're like, whoa, what the fuck? The graphics on the water is, I think Stargate even looks better than like the cool water effects in Stargate. I think even that looked better than this. But no, there's some pretty cool moments, and it's weird that we only get the fears of, I think, 3 people. You get Lawrence Fishburne's fire guy, you get Weir's dead wife, and then you get the doctor's son. But we don't see anything with the trauma guy, what his thing is. You don't get anything with Cooper, the black guy, and you don't anything with him. Like only 3 people see things. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. You would think that they would kind of go through all of them.
Oh, I forgot about the black guy. Yeah. They just put him on that. They just put him on the outside of the ship the whole damn movie. Like shit's happening. He's like walking on the outside of the ship. What's going on in there? Hey, man. And then when it blows up, I think there's something like, oh, shit. What the fuck?
Oh, God. Yeah, when I was younger, he was my favorite, and it makes sense. I mean, he's the comic relief, and he has a lot of charisma. But watching it now, I think he plays it way over the top. I think he could have reeled in a little bit. But yeah, it's difficult because on one hand, I acknowledge that this movie isn't fucking great, and maybe, I'm in a slight agreement with you in that I think the plot synopsis is better than the actual execution of it. So yeah, a lot of things don't make sense. But again, there's something that drives the movie forward with its tone and its atmosphere and its creepiness. So, and I just have nostalgia for it. I watched it a lot growing up. It's one of the very few movies that I saw in theaters as a young kid that like truly terrified me. I saw this at there was a theater in Clearwater behind Sizzlers. I don't remember what the fuck it was called though. But I remember around that time that theater got like new speakers, and I remember like papers being on like the glass door when you walk in that says like, oh, we got like, they're saying, oh, we got new speakers, it's going to be awesome. And I remember specifically that happening right when this movie came out, and we went into like the main auditorium. We were kind of in the, not in the front, but front middle-ish.
Yeah.
And within like the first 45 minutes, I looked at my mom and I was like fucking terrified. I was like, I can't do this, and the little kids. And so she actually took me away, and like we sat in the very, 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 very back row because it was just so loud and dominating, and just the imagery of the movie for 11-year-old was a little much. So I kind of huddled in the back with my mom in the theater. So I have this weird connection to it where it's like one of those movies that scared the fuck out of me as a kid.
I like how you're watching this rated R movie at 11 with your mom, and you're you're terrified, and she's like, "Well, let's go sit in the back, honey." It's not like we're not leaving. You're not getting out of this.
We bought tickets for this goddamn. Yeah,
$6.50. This is back in the day, so it's probably like $6. $6 is a lot in fucking 97.
I want to see what happens with Weir. We're staying. So yeah, my rating. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with a comfortable 7. It's not perfect. It's fun for what it is, I suppose. I have a little nostalgia to it. But yeah, it doesn't hold up as much as I would have liked it to. Nothing like what's another cult, like From Dusk Till Dawn. I haven't seen it in forever, but I hope that movie still holds up. Or like The Crow or something. Movies I haven't seen in a while that are kind of cult classics. I assume that they hold up a little better than this one does.
Yeah. Yep. 6.3, 7.0. All right. That was an old perspective and a fresh perspective on Event Horizon. What's on behind you? Where was it on? Netflix? Is that what that is?
I had to rent it on Apple. I could have swore I saw this on a streaming service recently. I went through fucking all of them and I couldn't find it, so I had to rent it for a couple bucks.
I watched it on my Spectrum on demand, so it kept throwing in commercials. And it was rated NC-7 or whatever, TV 17, so it was R, but they cut out like cuss words, I think.
Oh, weird.
I know for a fact there was a fuck in there, like.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of cussing. Oh yeah, Cooper, every other word like, he's cursing.
And then I could say the guys, forget this. I was like, I'm pretty sure he just said fuck this.
Oh my god.
So that was kind of lame, but I was like, I don't think it's changing the movie for me. But yeah, and they kept playing like it'd be 2 commercials and then like the same commercial back to back. It's like, fuck, man. At least give me something fresh.
That's kind of funny that they would censor cuss words, but they'd give you the full video of the crew going fucking buck wild, crazy, violent.
They let it be R, but then hey, we don't cuss on TBS though. You might show some fucking fucked up imagery, but there's one thing we don't do is curse.
Is there nudity? Because Sam Neill's wife is nude on one of the scenes. Like she puts his head on her belly or something, and her boobs are like right in the frame. So I'm wondering how much they cut out.
Yeah, I think they must cut out a lot.
Jesus.
I watched the even more abridged version. I do remember that scene. I think they just cut away or something. But yeah. I was wondering how edited it was going to be. But I was like, why would you fucking rate it TV MA, if it's not actually R? I don't know what the fuck was going on. And it's on demand, so it's like you're not playing this on television. Just play the movie, man.
Yeah.
But it was the only way I could find it. I was about to rent this bitch. And that's before I watched it, so I'm glad I didn't rent it.
Yeah.
Spend that money to get the titties would have made it better.
Yeah, I almost didn't. I almost came in today just on memory, but I'm like, no, because maybe there's something I missed or whatever. But yeah. It's only a couple bucks. Fuck it.
That's not fair. We always do it for you. We always watch the movie.
Yeah.
Even if we've seen it a million times, it's happened to us. And I was like, well, got to do it. It's research. And then it's super fresh in your mind when we talk about it. Yeah, 6.3, 7.0. Please check us out. Bryan vs. Bryan podcast on Apple Music, on Spotify Music, also here on YouTube. As always, please like and subscribe. Please tell your neighbors, your pets, your father-in-law, your high school bullies on Facebook. You just see the pictures once in a while. Say, hey, man, y'all need to check out this Bryan vs. Bryan thing, man. I think they got something going here, man. All right. We appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out. Till the next week, we'll tell you peace.
Peace.